Welcome. You are in the perfect place if you are ready to score a few more clients before Christmas, if not, a good dozen or so. Okay. I'm going to make sure that we're also live in the Facebook group and then we'll get started right on time here. Let me go ahead and make sure. Okay. We should be live in the group as well. All right. Good morning. Thank you so much for showing up. I know December is very busy, which is exactly why we're here. I want to ask you something and I want you to answer me honestly. Have you completely mentally checked out of your client enrollment? Have you already kind of admitted like, okay, I'm headed into the holidays. I'm getting ready for Christmas. It's time for the shopping, the wrapping, the cooking, the visiting, the traveling, and you really haven't put much of that. So in chat you can let me know too. I'm curious if you are having any if you're having any challenges staying focused on what's going to happen in January. If you have switched gears to the holidays, like yay you, because you're really committed to being present, and I want you to enjoy your life. Okay, the whole point of what we do here at HealAtScale, specifically in the Practitioner Accelerator Mastermind, is how can we not just create a massively profitable business, but how can we do it in such a way that it fits around a lifestyle that we love? Okay. So I'm glad that you're focusing on the holidays. I want you to focus on the holidays. As I titled this session, like, I want you to get some holiday clients and I want you to be able to do it in 30 minutes. So I've done the heavy lifting for you. But before I hand over those assets and let you know exactly how to use them, I just want to address the problem, the elephant in the room. Okay. And that's that we can have this challenge where we do go ahead and focus, like December hits, we just get swept up in that holiday chaos and we literally stop marketing just because either we're too busy ourselves or we assume everyone else is too busy to pay attention. And then January comes and panic sets in, right? Because we need clients now. Okay. And then we're scrambling to fill our calendar. And what happens when we do that, you guys? Like, if we're scrambling, then we kind of have these like needy vibes, right? As opposed to our typical generous vibes of we have something to give, we have something to bring the world, we have something to help people, and we show up generous in our content, generous in our consults, and we land clients. Okay. But if we let ourselves get to that needy, panicky state, in my opinion, we're bringing the wrong energy into our business at the perfect time to set our business up to win. Okay. So what we need to do is face the truth. Okay. Which is that your audience is going to be making decisions right now. They're either going to be buying from you right now, right after Christmas, right as they head into New Year's and start thinking about their resolutions. They are going to buy because we know that historically, the end of the year and the right beginning of the new year is typically in the health space a very profitable time. Okay. So that means if we look at the historical sales data and we see that, then that means that if they're not buying from you, they're buying from somebody else. Okay. And that's what we're here to prevent today. Okay. I would like you to avoid the high cost of checking out, because when you go silent in December, you're not just losing December revenue, you're losing an abundant January by not having those conversations with people who are going to buy right at the tail end, like New Year's Eve, right? Or right at the very beginning of January when they're doing their New Year's resolutions and they're journaling and they're deciding, okay, that 50 pounds or this waking up drenched in sweat every night or another year of not having that baby that they want or another year of not having clear skin, any of that. They're making those decisions. And I want you to be in their world, like in their online ecosphere, so that when they make that decision, you are gifting yourself the reality that other people are going to gift themselves you, right? Buying you, getting the help from you that they probably need. Okay. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and I have made you an absurdly simple document. We're going to open it up. We're going to use it together. Okay. And everything that I'm giving you it's done for you. You're simply going to personalize it so it sounds like your voice. You're going to customize it so you're talking about your offer, you're talking about your specialty, what you do, the pain points your people have. Okay. But the reason that I created these for you is I literally love that you want to focus on the holidays. I want you to have that. So my goal is that I give you something that instead of you staring at a black screen or a blank page or that flashing cursor that makes it impossible to write, maybe that's just me. I want to give this to you in such a way that you could just knock it out of the park in 30 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to give you some emails. I'm going to give you some posts and you can go ahead and get those. If you want to do it with me, I'm going to go ahead and give you the QR code and then I'll walk you through the entire documents. Okay. So let me give you the QR code to message me. Okay. So if you DM me holiday sales, just like it says there, I'm going to do it this way because I think it's bigger and a little more clear. But if you go to @RealJoyHouston, you can just use that QR code on your phone. If you go to @RealJoyHouston and you DM me holiday sales, I've set up an automation that is just going to deliver it to you. Okay. So you can open that in another tab or you can grab it on your phone, whatever you want to do. Make sure that if you're the type who needs to follow along, go ahead and scan that and make sure that you have access to the templates that I'm going to show you. Okay. This is the chats are the first part. So that's what I want to walk you through today. And then the caveat to this is that I need you to know that if you fail to be social on social media, you're not going to get the wave of clients that I want for you between now and Christmas. Okay. So I'm going to do the heavy lifting and give you the assets to put out on social media, the email templates, but that doesn't mean you're off the hook. Obviously, it's your business, not mine. Okay. So I'm going to give you like a little leg up to get over the fence. Like, when your friends are climbing over the fence, I'm going to give you a leg up and then you have to get over the fence. You have to do the climbing and your part, the climbing, okay, to get over the fence. Your part is simply to customize the emails and the posts and then reply, right? I feel like so many of us forget to be social on social media. We think that, we can put all our stuff out on this platform. The platform is free. It costs me my time, but like it's kind of a way to do free advertising. No, it's not free because your time is very valuable. But then we forget that social media is meant to be a back and forth. It's not meant to be a like, hi, I'm going to put this in front of you and then you do what I tell you. Like, it's really not meant for that. It's meant for, there's an idea. Let's interact with that idea, right? Do I like that idea? Do I want to DM the person? Do I have a comment? Do I share it with a friend? Don't forget the social part. Okay. So I'm going to give you the emails. You're going to send them. When people reply back that they're interested, hi, you need to reply right away. Okay. You can't just go 2-3 days without responding. Okay. So that's the caveat to what I'm going to share with you. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share screen here. So I can leave this at the bottom. Okay. Somebody is still scanning right now. If you guys have questions, you can put it in the chat. Okay. But I'm going to take this down just for a minute. Let me see if I can put it in the bottom and see if that terribly interrupts the screen share. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you these templates. I timed myself doing it for a business that was going, I'm using an example in a workshop that we're hosting today for a New Year, New Clients campaign. That is it's a different thing. It's a much, much more comprehensive. This is a quick and easy fix to land a couple of clients before Christmas. Okay. The New Year, New Clients, that is to get you a wave of clients and to enroll all of them on a single consult. So instead of doing, 30 people who are interested in maybe your lab test, and then you get them all on individual sales calls, that's 30 consults, right? That's a lot. So we're doing a workshop for you to get a ton of upfront sales of an introductory priced item and then get all of those people onto a workshop. And that's basically your opportunity to show off your brilliance and then enroll all of them in your higher ticket offer. Okay. So I'm doing that today. It's a much more comprehensive thing, comprehensive project. If you want to join us today, I will just make sure that you have that link up there. Okay, there you go. On the off chance that you want to be a part of that workshop, it's happening today from noon to 3, and it is an entire campaign, you guys. It's built with custom GPT. So instead of, sometimes I give you guys prompts and you need to customize them and put them into your AI tool. Instead, the AI is just built to ask you all the right questions, and then it's going to spit out the entire offer, and then the offer ladder, and then all of the social media promotions and all of the email campaigns, and even an outline for you to host that Zoom call that I talk about that is very much like a group consult, a group sales session. Okay. So if you are wanting a wave of new clients in the new year, that is the right thing for you. Okay. What we're going to go over now is actually posts and emails that they're already written. So you're not going to be answering questions. The AI is not going to spit it out for you. You're just going to customize literally in the Google document. You're going to customize these on your own. Okay, so manually you're going to customize. So this is really good for any of you who are like, I'm still afraid of AI. I don't want to use it. Okay, so let me go ahead and share screen, and I want you to see. This. Okay. Okay, so I think you guys can see this. Let me just bounce back in here and make sure. Okay, so let me know in chat if you guys can see this. I'm going to make it bigger, and I'm going to make me smaller. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to make me smaller. I'm going to make the text even bigger. So let me bump this up to 150%. All right. I'm hoping that you guys can see this okay. So let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay. Obviously, if you want these kind of like handed to you promotions for every season of the year, if you want the inside scoop on how to have an extremely profitable health business, please click this link right here and schedule a game plan session with our team, because we have room to take on 5 more practitioners in the Practitioner Accelerator Mastermind. And that's where we do it. That's where we measure ourselves by how many medical millionaires we make. Okay. So book that session here. You can click this link and you'll see the calendar and you can book a time. All right. So if you're ready for your biggest year ever in 2026, I highly recommend that you book that. Okay. So you should see a page that looks like this. Actually, let me stop sharing, and I'm going to share this screen really quick. I want you to know that when you use the Manny chat that I gave you, you're going to see a page that looks like this, you guys, and you're just going to simply click this make a copy button. And once you click the make a copy button, then you will have your own version of this document that I'm in right now. Okay. Because obviously I don't want you to change mine because I'm giving it to everybody. So everybody needs their own copy. Okay. So you'll scroll down here and there's an implementation guide. And the reason that I added this up here at the top is I wanted to give you both a general idea of what you need to do. So in other words, you need to, as you're reading through these, you need to look for anything that's in brackets. Okay. Because anything that's in brackets, that's where you get to customize it. Okay. You get to talk about your business and what you're good at, and you get to rephrase anything for your personality in the like overall tone of these communications. Okay. So make sure that you take a few minutes just to personalize each one of these. And then I want you to schedule them. Okay. And I give you some suggested timelines here. The whole idea is it's the 16th of December today. Like, I would like you to get these going now, 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes. Take 30 minutes to get them done, scheduled. If you want to pre-automate them, of course you can. If you want to post them natively, then you just can post reminders on your Google Calendar, whatever calendar you use, to, oh yeah, I have those posts ready. Let me go ahead and get them live on the social media platform that you're on. Okay. So I have some suggestions for how to customize. I advise that you schedule it. I advise that you create some urgency. Okay. We're really doing this with the New Year's workshop today. So if you guys want to come to that, make sure you join us today. And you guys, even if you can't make it live today, I get it. If you're just seeing this now, you probably can't join us live. When you join that workshop, you get the recording and you get access to the GPTs for 30 days. So the recorded training and the GPTs, you'll have access for 30 days. Okay. All right. Here's my timing suggestions. Now let's get into the stuff that I have for you to customize. Okay. There are 2 different aspects of this. Okay. There's a part 1 and a part 2. The theme of the part 1 is basically, can we get them to gift themselves? So in other words, I've even called this one the permission slip, right? So essentially what I want us to do is remind people that they can't be as good as they want to be for their family, their business, their church, their community, unless they're taking really good care of themselves. So we're leaning into that theme. Okay. So you would go ahead. I'm going to fix this here. Okay. So you would go ahead and itemize this. Now I'm going to give you a red flag for those of you who are using a CRM. You might be using, we use Go High Level, we use Kartra. You might be using something like a MailChimp or old school, maybe you're still on Infusionsoft or ClickFunnels or something like that. But you want to change this first name field if you are using a CRM and an automated mailing system, because every system has a slightly different way of putting in the first name field. Chances are that's not your CRM's first name field, okay, where it would auto-populate the first name of everyone on your list. So make sure you fix this one. Okay. Oh my God. I feel so gross when I accidentally send an email that doesn't have the first name field, right? It's so embarrassing. So make sure you fix that. Okay. All right. And if any of this doesn't sound like you, go ahead and tweak it. Okay. But I just wanted to give you a really good starting point on opening a conversation that basically says they need to care for themselves. Okay. So I think all of this is pretty general. I think you could use this for almost any specialty. But when we get to this part here, right? So here, even here, right? So if this beginning is just reminding them, right? I'm going to say something that might feel uncomfortable. You deserve to be on your own gift list this year, not because you've earned it by taking care of everyone else, though you have, but because showing up for people you love requires energy. You can't pour from an empty cup. Okay. This holiday season, what if the best gift you gave your family was a healthier, happier, more energized version of you? Now, here's where you might want to look at special, like customizing, right? So if you're a dermatologist, right, and your thing is giving them a natural glowing beauty, confidence in their appearance, clear, clear, dewy skin, whatever, you know what I mean? Like if you need to customize this for the highlights that you can provide to their life, then by all means, please do that. Okay. But certainly this area right here, your program, service, offer. I know some of you guys have online programs, some of you don't. Some of you are still one-on-one service based, meaning you might be offering a consult with them. You might be offering a supplement, a cream, a book. It doesn't matter to me, but I want to make sure that this is where you have to customize. So wherever you see these brackets, you need to go in and you need to put an offer that we think you could reasonably sell to an audience that already knows, likes, and trusts you during this holiday season. Doesn't matter to me what it is, okay? But you should pick something here that is something that would be in the price range that most people who follow you would be willing to gift themselves this holiday season, okay? And then you can describe the details of that. Now, when I say the special offer details, I will remind you that in marketing, we always have to remember the difference between features and benefits, okay? Features are the things that are included. Okay. So they're the nitty gritty of what's in the offer. The benefits are what happens as a result of those features. Okay. So I always try to take it out of the medical world and just give you a really silly, simple example of you want to buy a chef knife. Okay. So it's made of, 100 layers of folded pure steel made in Japan from a family that's been doing this for centuries. Right. So the folded steel is going to be one of the features, okay? The ergonomic teak handle that's finished to be safe for the dishwasher. That is a feature, okay? The insanely sharp blade that has been sharpened to a monomolecular edge. Like I'm exaggerating, honestly, right? But like the steel, the handle, the sharpness of the blade, those are all features of what we're offering, okay? The benefits are I can slice anything I want as thin as I want, like a rock star chef on TV, right? So I want that tomato to slice. I can have a paper thin slice of tomato. That's a benefit. Okay. So make sure that as you're listing what you're including, don't just list the features, list the benefits. Okay. Because ideally, people want the end result. They want the benefits. Okay. So if you're buying a face cream, you're not buying the face cream because you want cream. Right? You're buying the face cream because you believe that cream is going to get you a specific result. So what's the feature? Well, the cream may highlight certain ingredients in it, right? It's smooth, it soaks in nicely, it whatever, like it has vitamin E or what are all the things, hyaluronic acid. And then what are the benefits, right? Extremely hydrating, reduces fine wrinkles, can soften your age spots, anything like that. Benefits, features, benefits. Okay. So when you do this list of your special offer details, keep that in mind. Okay. So yeah, you want to give them the tick list of what's included in this offer. But next to that tick list, what if you describe the benefit? Okay. Or even better, what if you listed the benefits and then you listed the items in your package that create those benefits? Okay. Features and benefits. I want you to be talking about both of them. Okay. All right. So that's the email that you can send out. Okay. I'm just doing subject line on the off chance you guys don't do a reader line. Reader line is that extra line that you can read. But if you're doing these like manually from your Gmail, for those of you who are still at that level, I don't love that. You can really get in trouble spamming. If you were doing that, you need to BCC everyone, blind carbon copy everyone. So you send the email from you to yourself, and then you blind carbon copy anyone who you want to send this to. But you have to be very careful with that. You can immediately get into trouble, get blacklisted by Google. So you want to keep that to no more than 50 people at one time in a BCC. Okay. My recommendation, get on Go High Level or Kartra, get yourself a really rock solid business ecosphere. Okay. If you need help or if you need access to those, I'm going to go ahead and put my Instagram on. One second. Okay, there's some questions here. I'll get to those right now. Okay, I'm going to put my Instagram on here because, hey, this is where you can get a copy of all of these emails and social media promotions. Okay, but also just I'm on there. I'm actually chatting with you guys. So if you need a recommendation for a CRM for your online ecosphere, please just let me know that you need that and I'll make sure to provide it for you. We even have some discount codes that can get you guys better pricing and even like a first free month and stuff like that. Okay, so let's put our big boy, big girl pants on and let's have an awesome CRM for our business. It's absolutely essential. Okay, so we've got the emails. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out of the way. Okay, so now we have a sample of the email. You guys, let me make sure the screen share is here. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm going to get back into this document where I can see it. Okay, so you're going to customize the email. And then I've also given you some ideas for both like the image, like so here's some image ideas that you might want to use as your backgrounds, and then giving you the caption and the post. Okay, so there's some ideas in here for that. Again, these are very general. One tip that I want to give you is I like you guys to create a little bit of scarcity. And sometimes scarcity can intimidate you guys because you can get the sense that like, oh man, I'm not gonna, if I say I'm only gonna help 5 people, then that's gonna shoot me in the foot at maybe getting 10 clients or 20 clients. And let me tell you, no, it's not. Okay. It's absolutely not. And besides, even if you say you're gonna take 5 clients and you end up making room for 6, that's okay. All right. All of that is okay. Let me pause really quick here and just check my Nichols. Okay, so some of you are asking again for the how to get access. So if you guys want access to these prompts, you're going to grab them. I had them auto delivered because this stream is on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. It's all over the place. Okay, so I just had one centralized automation built over on Instagram. So you can scan this code right now. It'll take you to my Instagram. You're just going to DM me the word holiday sales. And when you do, you will get all of the holiday sales communications. I will leave this on screen here at the bottom. It's going to block a little bit of what you guys can see, but I'll keep scrolling so that you guys can see everything I'm talking about, but I'll leave it in case you need it. Okay. Okay. So let's get back into this document. So right here where it says, the most generous thing you can do this holiday season is take care of yourself. Okay. Not after the holidays, not when things calm down, now. Okay. That is a good thing to stop the scroll and get them thinking about themselves, especially if they're exhausted, right? They might be like, yeah, you know what? This person is totally right. This is where I want you to be careful. I'm helping. Now, some of you are like, Joy, I wish I had 20 clients. So I would like to say 20. Please don't do that. Make this a very small number. Say, hey, I've made time to help 3 additional people give themselves what they actually need. Think small because they're like, I want to be one of those 3 or 4 or 5 people. Okay. So if you say you're making room for 3 people or 5 people, that's great. If 6 people end up dying to work with you, That's a nice problem to have, okay? But we still want to create the urgency in the marketplace that you're in demand and there's only a few people who are going to be able to take advantage of this, okay? So make sure that you don't get scared off and put a big number in there, okay? And then we're going to I'm using one that's for energy. You guys can change this for your, specialty. But what I want to focus on here is the trigger word that you need to add. Okay. Now, by trigger word, I'm not having a therapy trauma conversation here. A trigger word is simply the word that you want people to message you in order to get the conversation started or in order to deliver them access to the details of what you're offering. Okay. So in the workshop I'm hosting today from noon to 3, we're in a 3-hour workshop for practitioners to create their entire new year, new wave of clients campaign. Okay. So they'll be setting up a one word for an offer document, and people who are interested will get an automated reply that takes them to a document that feels very VIP, very, sort of behind the velvet rope, very special. If you're interested in this, just comment, fill in the word here, much like what I've done with you guys. Okay. So here, if we have this up on screen, I'll flip it this way so you can see it. When this word here, where it says DM me holiday sales is what I mean by a trigger word. Okay. Now you can automate this or you can do it manually. Okay. If you want to automate it, then I highly recommend ManyChat. If you don't know what ManyChat is and you need to link to it, again, just have that conversation with me over in Instagram, or you can put the comments wherever you are. We also answer the comments on all these platforms. Okay. But that's an example of a trigger word. So holiday sales is a trigger word. Okay. So that's what I mean by a trigger word when we're right here. Okay. So for you, maybe you're doing a hormone program and it might be that you're ending hormone chaos, right? And so the trigger word might be chaos, right? Or maybe you want the opposite. You want a positive, the way that they want to go, like calm or peace or whatever. Or in this case, I'm talking about this example is talking about having natural energy. And so you might want the trigger word to be energy, right? It should make sense with the promotion. Okay. So you need to customize your trigger word. Now, you don't have to have ManyChat set up, you guys. I like it. I wish that you would set it up because it's an automation that is very inexpensive. I think ManyChat is like less than $20 a month or maybe 20 something dollars a month. But every time anyone sends you a trigger word on a particular topic, you can auto send them what I call a hand raiser. And the hand raiser is just a free asset that you want to give away, but it kickstarts the chat. And now you can talk to them, get them talking about themselves, get them saying what's going on, what the problems are, tell me more. And when you get them talking about themselves and find out what their real challenges are, that's your opportunity to acknowledge that their problems are real, to say, wow, that is a real problem. And if we don't make it better, it could get worse, right? If we don't fix our hormones, our immune system can start going haywire. If we don't fix our gut, then our hormones get disrupted. You can exacerbate the problems that they're having and point out how it could get worse unless they address it. And then you could invite them to address the problem with you. All right. So these are what I want you guys to customize. Okay. And then I have a second option. I gave you 2 options for each, right? So there's some different options here for you to customize. There's another email option called the real cost, right? Trying to get them addressing the cost of not taking action about their health. So there's a social media post and an email in that theme. Okay. And then there's one based on the theme of the future you, right? Like, will you look back 3 months from now and be happy with the decisions that you've made, right? So we're trying to get them to focus on themselves from that future perspective, looking back, hoping that they're happy with the choices that they made. And there's a post on that too. Okay. So part 1 is all about getting them to prioritize themselves. Okay. So that would be getting your audience to invest directly in themselves by investing in you. Okay. The second part is all about gifting someone that they love. Hey, has someone that you love been struggling with XYZ, right? Skin problems, whatever. Maybe you have a daughter-in-law who's really wanting to have a baby this year and you wanted to gift them help from an amazing fertility expert that has an online program for the couple at home. Anything like that. Okay. So this is about them giving the gift of help to other people. Okay. And this follows the same format. I give you 3 different options, 3 emails, 3 social media posts that are in 3 different themes. Okay. And these will give you something to go ahead and customize and get out in the world where you can have some conversations happening now over the holidays, getting people to prioritize themselves or getting them to gift other people the gift of help. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing screen for a second. Okay. I want to make sure that I get chats. Someone is asking, okay, is there a replay of this? Oh, no worries. You can see this on YouTube after the fact, for sure, for sure. Okay. And then some people are just letting us know that they're here. Okay, got it. Okay, so if you guys have questions about this process, please let me know. Okay, someone is asking if the templates will be emailed to us. No, they're not going to be emailed to you. You're going to get them auto magically. Okay. I had time to host this event this morning before hosting a workshop this afternoon, but I'm definitely not going to manually email these to everybody. So I want you to have that code one more time. You can get them automatically sent to you, the link to your own Google Doc. Okay. So you don't have to give me your name. You don't have to give me your email. You're not going to get a series of emails after this. Like you just, oh, that's the wrong code, you guys. Here, let me put this one up. Okay. You can just go to Instagram and DM me holiday sales, and you're going to get your own version of the document. Okay. You'll land on a screen that will have the blue button I showed you earlier that says make a copy. When you click that button, you're going to make your own copy in your own Google Drive. Why? Because you need to edit it, right? I want you to edit all of those emails and all of those posts so that they sound like you. They're talking about your offers. They're talking about the pain points and problems your people have, okay? Because everyone's challenges are different, right? If you're in the fertility space right now, the moms are all bummed with the other people who have all their little babies around and the booty and the baby ornaments on the tree, the little booties. I had one for my son on our Christmas tree, the little tiny, hand knitted booties. And then his booties ended up being Christmas ornaments on the tree later. Like if that's what someone is dealing with and they've been trying for a year to have a baby, right? And then they're frustrated this holiday season and they really wish that that's what was going on in their life. You want to have a conversation with them that acknowledges those emotions, that acknowledges that those emotions are real. Okay. Same if you're in, I don't know, the skin arena or the autoimmune arena or the hormone or the gut or whatever. Any of that stuff, you guys, okay? Even if you're in the wellness and like health optimization side, all right? Maybe you're in the advanced like peptide kind of space, right? Well, let's have the conversation of the problems that we know that they're trying to solve or the goals that we know that they're trying to achieve using a peptide stack. And let's talk specifically about those. They should be customized for your offer. Okay. So everyone has access to those prompts. Okay. There's both emails and social media posts. Okay. The whole point of that is for you to take a little bit of time. Like I said, 30 minutes. You should take 15 minutes to customize them. And then you should block on your schedule a couple of 5-minute blocks to just deploy those things. Okay. So you're going to take 15 minutes to customize and then you're going to give. And for you, it might be, okay, I want 5 minutes on this day, 5 minutes on this day, and 5 minutes on this day before I start with clients, before I head out to do Christmas shopping, before I take care of everybody else. I'm actually going to take care of my business and I'm going to get these things out in the world and making sure that I'm landing a few clients during this season, during the holiday season. I'm not one of the people who drop the ball and then I start my January in a panic, in a moody energy, like feeling stressed about money. Like I don't want any of that for you guys. I want you to start the year in total abundance. Okay. So that brings us to the opportunity. We do have a few spots left if you want to do the New Year, New Clients workshop, okay? If you want that workshop, but you can't join us live, that's totally fine, okay? What this is, it is a 3-hour workshop, literally a workshop. This is not a come and learn, right? It's not that. It is a come and get things done. So what will be happening on this workshop is we will start by helping you build your January campaign. Okay. And what your campaign will look like so that you understand what we're up to. This may be something that's attractive to some of you. This may be a concept that some of you are like, well, I don't know if I could do this, right? Like, I don't know if I would be willing to host one Zoom session instead of having, 100 different client calls. Okay. You get to customize your offer your way. The example that I'll be walking you through is, okay, I want you to come to the workshop ready to knowing exactly what the heck do I want to sell a ton of in January. Okay. So you should be very clear on that. What do I want to sell in January? What is it? Do you have a 3-month hormone balancing package? Do you have a 6-month weight optimization package? Do you have a weekend workshop to get your peptide stack designed? Whatever the thing that you're like, Joy, if I could sell the heck out of this in 2026, this is the thing I know I'm meant to bring to the world. This is what I want to sell. That's all you have to be ready to answer on the workshop. So if you know exactly what you want to sell a ton of in January, what we're going to do is we're going to have you interact with a GPT that's going to ask you a lot of questions and help you come up with, okay, if I wanted to sell a 3-month 10K package with me to get XYZ result, it's going to force us to think through, well, what are some introductory offers? Let's come up with an idea that doesn't cost 10K for 3 months, but it might be, I don't know, let's say like a lab test. And the lab test is under $400. And we get the conversation started with everyone who would be really interested in this package with you. And instead of asking for a 10K investment right at Christmas or right at New Year's, which is right after Christmas, and everybody just shelled out a ton of money, right? Instead of asking for that expensive sale, we're going to ask for an introductory priced offer. So if this was a hormone balancing program, we might ask for a hormone test, a get your gut right kind of program like my client Taylor did. We might be doing a stool test, right? So what we do is we say, it's going to help you think through, if I want to sell this, what's the stair step? What's the introductory offer that I could put out in the world right now, get a ton of people to say yes to that offer because it's not very expensive as compared to a big offer to work with you, right? So we're going to think through, what is that introductory offer? So the very first step is we're going to come up with, what is it that we could sell at an introductory level price that would naturally lead to them wanting to buy the bigger thing. That's part one. Okay. And we're going to explain, we're going to open access to the private GPT. You're going to go into the private GPT and we're going to have you answer those questions. You're going to come up with your idea. Okay. Once everyone has their idea, then we're going to move into creating what we call an offer document. Okay. An offer document is a much more private, VIP kind of special feeling. It definitely has that, behind the velvet ropes kind of VIP access feel to it. We're going to help you create an offer document that describes the features and the benefits of that offer in a very enticing way, where people are extremely likely to say yes to that because we've done such a good job on presenting the offer in a way that makes it easy to say yes. Okay. And then once we do that, once we have the offer designed, and then we're going to do the offer invitation document that we're going to send everyone who gets interested in this, we're going to send them to this document. So you're not going to be explaining yourself ad nauseum. We're going to have this private invitation ready for them. Okay. So offer design, step 1. Offer invitation, the invitation to that offer, step 2. And then once we have that offer document, now we're ready to promote to it. So we're going to go ahead and create all of the email campaigns, and we're going to create all of the social media campaigns. That's what we're up to. Okay. And then the very final last step, the 5th step, is we're going to make sure that you have a clear outline to engage all of those people who purchased on a group Zoom call in early January. So not on New Year's Day, not the day after, but like very early, that second week of January. And you're going to have a Zoom event, like a Zoom session with all of the people. So in our example of, maybe they took a pre-peptide blood work stack. Okay. Everyone wanted to go ahead and get that blood work done. Yay. Then in early January, we're inviting them as a bonus for buying that pre-peptide blood work stack. They all get to come on a blood work interpretation session with you, or a blood work explanation session with you, where you explain all the indicators on that test and how they can self-assess, and then give them a 3-step broad strokes to how they can design their own pep stack. And obviously, they're not going to want to design their pep stack on their own, their peptide stack on their own. They're going to want your expertise if that's what you're an expert in. Say we're going to give them a general game plan that they're probably not going to fully know how to execute. And then we're going to invite them, if they don't want to figure it out on their own, if they want your medical leadership, if they want your expertise in all the research you've done, they're going to be invited to do it with you. And that is the bigger, higher price item that you're going to sell. So that's what we're doing. We're going to get you clear on what the offer could be, the entry level price could be. We're going to make the offer invitation, then all the email promotions, then the social promotions, then an outline for you to deliver what is essentially a group consult. Okay. So instead of doing 100 little, 30-minute one-on-one consults, what if you got 100 people on one call, and in 1 hour, you had a super cool interactive event where a lot of people with the same challenge or the same health goals, they come and they get to see you showing off your expertise, talking about, in that example, you're talking about the lab test. They get to see you shine, talking about something that you love, and then they get to understand what they can do with those test results by seeing how does that play into creating a game plan for themselves to put those challenges in the rearview mirror, or to make those goals a reality. And then they get invited to execute that plan with you at the higher price point of your offer. Okay. That is what we're doing today. It's happening from noon to 3 p.m. Pacific if you want to do it with us live. Okay. I highly recommend this. Okay. You're going to be working with brand new custom GPTs that we built. The whole point of doing this 3-hour block is that it's just done. We don't want to add to your to-do list. We do not want to add to your to-do list. We want you to leave this event with your January New Year, new campaign completely ready to roll out. Okay. For a New Year's offer. What if you could get 200, 300 people into a group program in January? Well, then honestly, you don't have to worry about, you're going to have clients for quite some time. Okay. But once you get the hang of this, once you know how to do this, could you see yourself rinsing and repeating this kind of a process over and over at different times of the year with different themes? I could see that for you. I want that for you. Okay. Someone is asking, when is the 3-hour event? It is today. Okay. So I came on here to give you a free, some free Christmas and handouts that I wanted you to have, like some promotions that I want you to have. But this is about creating an entire New Year, new wave of clients campaign. It's happening today, noon Pacific time until 3 p.m. If you cannot attend with us live, that's totally fine. You're going to get the recording and access to the GPTs for 30 days. Okay. Because this is for people who implement. This is not for people who buy shelf help. Okay. Someone is asking, do we need to come if we recently purchased the lab test funnel? I would come if I just recently purchased the lab test funnel, and I'll tell you why. Because the lab test funnel that you just created, that is a perfect introductory offer. Do you see it? Like if you're wanting to sell, let's say Doc Wells, that you wanted to sell a 4-month package that's, $7,500, or a 3-month package that's $10K. Okay. Right now, that's going to be a difficult sell, okay? Because it's Christmas time and everyone's freaking out about their insurance premiums that are about to double. I know mine have more than doubled. Anyways, if we know that bigger offer that you want to sell is going to be it's going to be an uphill battle to sell that right now, then what we want to do is get them seeing the lab results that show how essential it is for them to solve the problem that you solve in your bigger 3-month package or 3-month online program, whatever it is you want to sell. So if you already have a lab test funnel built, booyah, you're a step ahead, right? Because your offer could be, go ahead and buy the lab test, whatever lab test you built with your lab test funnel, go ahead and get the lab test. And when you get it now, if you buy it before Christmas, if you treat yourself to this before Christmas or before New Year's Eve, whatever you want to do, I'm throwing in a free workshop with me where I'm going to walk you through the entire test, like every indicator. We're going to talk about it. We're going to make sure you understand what every indicator on these tests means. I'm going to share some stories of with you of clients that have been high, clients have been low, and what we did about that. Doc, you know what that does? It gives you the chance to show off your expertise, because all you guys who would offer an upfront lab test, all of you are so well educated and knowledgeable about the test that when you get on camera and you talk people through it in a Zoom, people are like, man, this person is so smart. They know so much about all of these things. You might not see it or might not think it's a big deal, because to you, it's just like a fish in water, right? But to them, they're like, wow, the knowledge bombs that you're dropping to them are mind blowing. And then when you're also sharing stories of patients or clients that had highs and lows, then they're seeing how many people that you've helped. And the human side of it becomes very real. And they can see themselves in those challenges and think to themselves, oh man, that's just like me. Oh, I feel just like that. Yes, I have that same problem. And when you combine you showing off your expertise and you sharing stories, like the only piece missing in that triangle is a really compelling invitation to solve the problems they're having with you. Okay. And that's why we're helping you also. The fifth step in today's workshop is to make sure that you have a really rock solid outline for that live event that you host in the beginning of January. Because on that Zoom call, you need to show off your stuff. You need to show off your smarts and talk about the lab. You need to share stories of success. I have 100% faith in all of you that you can do that. Okay. The third leg of the triangle, which is landing the plane, turning those two pieces into sales. That's the piece where I get a little bit nervous. In my experience, healers don't necessarily love the sales part of the conversation. And I need you to land that. Okay. So I need you to make sure that you do a great job of showing off your expertise, sharing client wins, and then inviting people to be one of your next client wins. Okay. So that's why we're doing the outline, to make sure that you don't take, let's say it's an hour-long session that you're going to host, that you don't take the entire hour doing the teaching and sharing success part, and you don't leave any time for the turning all of those attendees into new clients. Okay. So that's why we added that at the very last minute, actually. So we want to make sure that you guys have help in hosting a Zoom event in a way that will actually close clients. Okay. So you have on screen the QR code to get to the registration page for that workshop if you want to join us. Okay. Let me make sure I don't have any questions. If we don't have an email list right now, can we use the email templates as social media posts? Michelle, that's a great question, but you don't even have to do that, right? Like I have emails and I have posts. So when you get that document, you're going to have emails. So for those of you who have email lists, please use those. Okay. And then you also have social media posts. For those of you who don't have an email list, just like Michelle is asking, please go ahead and use the social media posts. Now, I suppose, Michelle, you could take those emails and kind of twist them into additional social media posts. But I've given you 3 different posts in both of the 2 options, the care for yourself at Christmas and the care for others at Christmas. There's kind of 2 different options in there. So all total, you have 6 different options for social media posts. So you should have plenty in there for those of you who don't have an email list. Okay. Michelle, if you don't have an email list, you have been following me for a while, because I know that you've messaged me on Instagram. So my question for you is, why have you not prioritized building a business online ecosystem? Let's get you a CRM where you can move all of the interest that you're gathering on social media into an atmosphere that makes it easy for you to take money, for you to collect emails, for you to deliver online group programs or workshops. Let's get you into a system that works. Okay. So anyone who's like, I don't have a list at all, that's okay. But definitely plant it as one of your immediate business goals to build a simple online ecosphere. It doesn't have to be fancy, you guys. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be functional. Okay. So let's make sure, those of you who are not gathering a list now, let's make sure that you're doing that moving forward so that you can be extremely profitable in 2026. Okay. So yes, and my answer to that is yes, and let's get you an email list growing. Okay, perfect. All right, you guys, I think we have answered all the questions. I have the workshop today from noon to 3 p.m. So I'm going to go ahead and meet up with Travis. We're just going to make sure all of the custom private access GPTs are ready to rock for all of you who are attending with us. Okay. One last note on that. if you have experimented with AI and you're okay at it, or you find, oh, it kind of gives me generic results, you will be the type of person who will absolutely love working with our private custom GPTs. I'm going to tell you why. The private custom GPTs they're made given all of our combined knowledge. So we've been working in the health and wellness space for 13 years. So, and Travis also, so a combined 26 years of experience in the health and wellness space. Okay. In the online, which is different, in the online health and wellness space. So rather than interacting with generic GPTs, large language models, right? Instead of working with that, you're actually working with custom GPTs that we have built. Okay. So you're going to see in there reminders of anywhere that you might be sharing a testimonial and you need to give a disclaimer. You're going to see that these GPTs are much more targeted to health professionals. These are made for people like you. So you're not interacting with a typical large language model. You are interacting with a custom built GPT to help you come up with your entry-level price offer that leads to the main biggest offer you want to sell the most of in 2026, and then do the offer invitation, and then do the emails, and then do the social media promotions, and then make sure you're ready to host a banging, awesome, super engaging Zoom session at the very beginning of January that shows off your expertise and invites people to work with you. Okay, so all of that is happening today, noon to 3 p.m. If you're interested, use the scan code and come and join us. If you can't join us live, you're welcome to go ahead and grab the workshop, and then you'll get access to the recording, and you'll have access to the custom private GPTs that we made specifically for health professionals for 30 days. Okay, this is for action takers. Okay, what I don't love is shelf help. Right? Things that people are willing to buy, but they don't execute on it. Like that does nothing, right? I'm not interested in putting information out for the sake of information being out. I'm interested in putting this information out so that you make money. Okay. So the end result is I want you to make money from making a difference in people's lives. That's what we're all about here at HealAtScale. So that's who this is for. All right. If you guys can make it, I will see you today at noon Pacific time. It goes until 3 p.m. If anybody has any questions about this, or if you did not see the QR code where you can get free access to the emails and social media prompts that I gave you to send out over the holidays, then use that scan code, DM me holiday sales, and you will get a link directly to your own Google Access. No email opt-in, no automated series, none of that nonsense. You just get the direct link to the asset itself. All right. I do have a session next week. I think next week. Is that true? Let me see. Let me just make sure I'm not being bananas. I want to make sure, because I'm usually here Tuesday at 10 for you guys. Okay. Yeah, I do have one next Tuesday at the 23rd at 10 a.m. And then we've kind of skipped the holidays. So we also have one on the 30th. So we're good to go. I'll get to you guys before the holidays. All right. For any of you who can't join me next Tuesday or Tuesday after, please know I'm oh so grateful to serve the health practitioner community. For those of you who don't know, I wanted to be a doctor myself. I pass out at the sign of blood. So it wasn't in the cards for me. So getting to help you guys is a roundabout way of fulfilling on something that really means a lot to me, which is helping other people with their health. All right. So thank you for being a part of the HealAtScale community. I will see you guys next Tuesday. If you have questions, DM them to me.